Ah, fuck! Well, this was a total waste of time. I can't believe how good the story was. Huh?
Oh, I just love when a game goes out of its way to embellish my experience with a nice story.
How wonderful. Who are you? I'm you! Wow! Have you ever been in this situation? Are you perhaps ambivalent towards stories and games due to experiences that seem to contradict themselves? Well, rest easy, friend, for today I shall answer thee thine questions 3. Where to begin? Well, I played A Link to the Past recently, beat it, and thought it was pretty good, which is due to many things, but I especially loved the concept of the Dark World and how it was incorporated into the story. A once sacred kingdom now overrun with dangerous beasts, who all serve their undisputed king Ganon, who stole the Triforce ages ago and now seeks to conquer Hyrule. Fascinating, I thought, as I played through the game. But then I read the comic adaptation of the same game by Shotaro Ishinomori, and realized how basic and predictable the story actually was. And despite the Dark World still seeming like an interesting concept, it only felt truly alive while I was playing through the game and listening to the cool music. All of this is to say that the story was created specifically to enhance the gaming experience, and taking it outside of its intended context would be like me presenting my own beating heart to you. It would look cool, but it's a little bit concerning. Now I'm gonna teach you guys a neat trick. Well, it's more of a concept and not really a trick. I call it thematic structure. What is thematic structure, you say? What? It's something achieved through the interplay of story, presentation, and music in a game. And it's something that greatly enhances the gaming experience. As an example, if you take Zelda and put it right next to the myth of Perseus from Greek mythology, you'll notice a lot of similarities. A dude with a sword, a shiny shield, a damsel in distress, big imposing monster, you get the picture. This is because Zelda takes many of its story elements, and by extension thematic elements, from myths and fairy tales. Hell, Majora's Mask even has references to Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. Would you look at that? Thematic games are the ones that rise above the ranks of pastimes and time wasters and offer experiences that feel truly meaningful and engaging. I find that games that have a good thematic structure usually have good ambience, excellent music, and a story with a satisfying beginning, middle, and end. That typically borrows elements from like classic literature and other things. Metroid Prime borrows elements from Dune, Luigi's Mansion borrows elements from Dracula, and Donkey Kong 2 Diddy's Conquest borrows elements from Moby Dick. Donkey Kong 2 borrows elements from Moby Dick. Okay, maybe borrows might not be the exact word I'm looking for. But anyway, it would be very fun to compare and analyze these elements. Yes, Professor Van Helsing, Donkey Kong's the whale. But let's move on. I cannot stress enough how important thematic structure is to gaming. After all, it is something that elevates the gaming experience. But sometimes it feels like I am the only one who really gives a shit about this. What do I mean by that? Well, Sonic Mania is a game that's celebrated as being a really great game in general. But if you take a closer look at it, you will see that thematically it's a little bit weak. I'm not saying that it's not fun, but thematically, maybe not as good as it could have been. What game do I find great in that case if I'm so much better than everybody? What game? Rygar on the NES. Now that's a fucking video game. Okay, it's dated as fuck, but it's great! You wanna know why? Because underneath these pixelated visuals lies a true challenging adventure. One that seems to awaken a creative force in the depths of my soul, god damn it! If I'm already committed enough to engage with every challenge that is thrown my way, why not let the game excite my imagination while I'm at it? A story is just something I can work with, a supplementary feature that helps me craft a more lasting experience as I keep on trying to win. A mere asset to the thematic body of a game, but one that serves its purpose. And yes, you heard that right, a supplementary feature, an asset, something that's there mostly to provide context, to fuel the player's drive to win. But what about these games that flesh out their stories to the extent that they feel like movies? I bet they're pretty great, right? The problem is that they do all the heavy lifting for us. These games delineate their own stories to such a gross extent that the player takes on a much more passive role of game enjoyer rather than player. Ergo, they leave no room for the creative soul to flourish. At least not as far as the actual gaming is concerned, but I hear that some of these games actually have pretty good stories. However, another important element that these games usually seem to lack is actual challenge. They work a lot better as interactive movies, rather than video games. So why the fuck do people give a shit about them? I don't know, they're lazy. It's easy, right? You don't have to put work into it, you just sit down and fucking enjoy it. But where's the challenge? Where's the adventure? Where's the soul of gaming? You know what I mean? Fuck. Point is, I don't like them very much, and I have very little appreciation for them, as they likewise have very little appreciation for Rygar on the NES. Now I know what you're thinking. If you love Rygar so much, then why don't you fucking marry it? Now here's the thing. I'm already married to Rygar on the NES. The end. Fuck.